Cabbage is one of the favorite vegetables coming out of the garden, and today I'd like to share with you when and how you should start your cabbage seeds for the best garden success. So there's three basic types of cabbage. There's the fresh-eating head cabbage, which makes a small to medium-sized head. There's the Napa type, which makes the loose head, and then there's the storage cabbage, which makes very large, firm heads. So you can start all three types by this method. My favorite cabbage for fresh eating are Red Express, Golden Acres, and Stonehead. And for the storage cabbage, I really like the late flat Dutch, and I don't grow any of the Napa type cabbage in my garden. So I've found that I can freeze cabbage quite well to eat in the winter. If you'd like to learn how to freeze cabbage, jump on over to our video, How to Freeze Cabbage for the Best Success. I'll put the link in the description below so you can go watch this video. So cabbage is one of the vegetables that doesn't mind being transplanted and doesn't mind a light frost. This is really, really good for us because we can start cabbage in the house 8 weeks before our last frost date. This will give us cabbage to eat about 4 weeks earlier than if we started our crop outside. So there's 5 steps to a successful start. All right, number 1 is start time. This is going to vary depending on your growing zone. So look up your last average frost date and then count back 8 weeks. So for example, my last average frost date is May 15th. 8 weeks back would be March 15th. This is when I start my cabbage seeds. Number 2 is plant the seeds in a small planting tray or a pot, and you want to use seedling soil mix. The reason we want to use seedling starter mix is because some of the seeds are sensitive to fertilizers and will not germinate if there is any fertilizers in the soil. So it's just safer to start your seeds in a seedling starter mix. Now, we have our family secret seedling soil recipe. It's available to you. I'll put the link in the description below if you want to go get it. And if you're wanting to buy a premix, I would use the Seed Starter Natural Potting Soil Mix. It's made in the USA, and it's what a lot of the professional growers use. So I'll put a link in the description below if you want to find that. All right, you're going to want to plant 1 cabbage plant per person that you're feeding. So if you're going to freeze some cabbage for winter, go ahead and plant double. For example, there are 4 people that I'm feeding. So I will plant 4 cabbage plants for fresh eating and 4 for freezing. So that's 8 plants total. So I'm going to sow 16 seeds. Now the reason I want to sow so many seeds is that things can happen to the seedlings along the way, and I want to be sure that I get enough cabbage plants to put in the ground. So if I have extra plants, not a problem, I can just give some away. So I can never get the time back if I don't put in enough seeds. So sow double what you are wanting. Now if you're wanting a succession of cabbage to eat throughout the season, you want to plant cabbage seeds every 4 weeks until you hit the 1st of July. Number 3, grow the plants in a tray under 12 hours of light or outside during the day if it's above freezing, and then inside at night. So once you see the first adult leaves starting to grow, it's time to transplant the seedling into their own pots. This happens at around 3 weeks. So number 4 is transplanting the seedlings into organic potting soil. So I like the Happy Frog potting soil. This company really understands the importance of soil biology and how that affects the plant's health. So I'll put a link in the description below if you want to find it. And if you want to make your own potting soil, go ahead and use our family secret seedling mix recipe and just add 1 cup of compost for 8 cups of seedling soil mix. At this stage, the nutrients that came with the seed is used up and the plant is now needing a source of nutrients in the soil. So compost works best. If you don't have your own compost, I would use Espoma Organic Land and Sea Gourmet Compost, or you can use worm castings. I like the Brute Organic Worm Castings. Anytime you are selecting an amendment for your garden, make sure it has the OMRI listing or another organic certification. This is really important for the biology that lives around your plant's roots and helps your plants to be strong and healthy. Now at this point, it is important to put your plants outside during the day and back inside at night if the temperatures are going to be below freezing. You want to start the plants with a few hours of sunlight and then add an hour of sunlight every day until the plants can be out in the full sun all day long. Also be sure you keep them moist as you harden them off to be outside. All right, number 5, once you are 4 weeks before your last average frost date, you can plant the cabbage plants outside in the garden. So if a storm is going to come through and freeze the plants, I would go ahead and cover them with a frost blanket. If you'd like to learn our 3 low-tech frost protection systems for tomatoes and frost tender seedlings, you can check that out in our video. I'll put the link in the description below. And if you're wanting to learn more about growing cabbage, you can jump into our High Performance Garden Show. There's over 300 episodes for you to learn from, and it is free, it's online, and you can find it on our website at thelivingfarm.org/high-performance-garden-show. I'll put a link in the description below.